Afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Gooner. Welcome to another show where we're going to be previewing the game tomorrow, Arsenal versus Molde, or however Al should pronounce it. Listen, everybody pronounces it differently. But I hope you're all having a wonderful afternoon here in the UK, especially the day before we head into another lockdown. But fear not, we're here to bring you lots of content during that period. So you will never go without any content. And hopefully these 4 weeks at least can pass without relatively boredom. Because, listen, I know these lockdowns are tough, but we just got to get through it and we just got to make the best of it. But thankfully, football continues. Football's not going anywhere. So we can at least celebrate that fact. Joining me for this preview this afternoon, talking over the game, and I know he watched me earlier when I was on Claude's stream, and I had a brief mention about Lacazette. They should come out the team, and I'm sure he wants to get into that later on in the show. Is Nitesh? How are you doing, Nitesh?
I'm here only for the Lacazette debate. I don't care about the Europa League. But yes, if we win the Europa League, definitely I'll be happier than I am right now. We beat Manchester United. We beat one Solskjaer team at the weekend and a former Solskjaer team coming up. We better hammer this team as well. And yes, I am doing well, but I am here, as I said, for the Lacazette debate, definitely with you. And that shit's gonna get real soon. So big up and thank you for having me on again.
Yeah, no worries. Listen, it's an absolute pleasure having you on. Big up John, big up Jack as well, who's a new subscriber off the back of that stream that I'd done earlier with Claude. If you've not checked that out, head over to Claude and the Bansters channel and you can check that out. Listen, it was a great stream. But yeah, we're here previewing the game for tomorrow. So, Nitesh, how are you feeling about tomorrow? Because obviously after the heights of beating Man United, and listen, some Arsenal fans have gone way over the top with this victory over Man United, where I'm we've got to keep it grounded. We have to just be a little bit cautious because we've been here before where we've won a big six side, albeit at home. We haven't done it away from home, but we've been here where we've just gone over the top and then we've been brought back down to reality. So this time I'm playing it cautious. We have to keep it cautious. But yeah, how are you feeling about the game tomorrow? And do you think the players will be still on a high from that victory at Old Trafford? And how do you see things panning out?
I'll be very honest with you. I don't think most of the players that played against Manchester United will be even playing in the game tomorrow. So as we saw in the last week's Europa League game, I think we will see more of the same. And most of the players that were playing in that United game, the United win, may not even be starting. They may be on the bench, and that is as good as it could get for them tomorrow. I think those guys, there is any serious concern about tomorrow's game, because without a doubt, we should be winning tomorrow's game quite easily. So if we end up giving away anything tomorrow or losing tomorrow, I think that will be funny. But at the same time, as I said, even as you said, Claude stream, the title read there that Balogun is going to start tomorrow. So if that is the case, I hope that we are our youngsters are able to produce the goods tomorrow, and then our senior team can back it up at the weekend once again. But I am feeling happy that Arteta is giving youngsters chances in the Europa League against smaller teams. I guess everyone will be happy.
Yeah, big up Omar as well. Jack saying Banter FC. He said, Nitesh, you look like a new Gooner.
Unfortunately, as much as you want to troll for the past, some things have not gone our way. That is understandable. But there was a game at the weekend where you guys played like Banter FC and we guys put in a better performance. So
listen, guys. Banter is all good. Banter is all good. So listen, we can allow for banter. But yeah, listen, banter's all good. Give me 1 second, just while I power off this Yeah, people have a habit, right, of trying to call me in the middle of a stream, and it really does my crunching. I literally go live, and then somebody decides to call me. It really annoys me. I'm like, really?
And
Yeah,
I saw my first
you know.
Arsenal game in 1999, so I've seen a lot. I've seen enough.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just it is what it is. But yeah, guys, do smash a like. Do smash a like on this video.
Daniel, it must be Lacazette's agent calling you after watching your first stream with Claude, the initial
Yeah,
one.
probably, mate. No, it's only my brother, and it frustrates me because he always does it every time I'm going live.
Does he do it on purpose, or does he it's just a coincidence?
But yeah, listen, it is what it is. Big up Sam in the chat. He says, so Sam's given us some insight on Molde there. He said they're second in the league, but far behind the leaders. And yeah, Sam, I don't really know too much about Molde, to be honest. I don't really know too much about them. But yeah, listen.
I'll give you a heads up. Solskjaer has won more titles with Molde than he has won with Manchester United. So that is one thing that we can remember.
Sam said he's coached one of the Molde players when he was young. That's interesting, Sam. Yeah, that's interesting, Sam. But let us know. Maybe yeah, be interested in you to come on at some point and tell us that story, Sam, because that would be that'd be very interesting to hear how you come to coach one of their players.
Yeah, for all we know, Sam Greenwood might wear a Molde shirt and like be on the pitch if they have a few COVID situation or a few injury problems. We may see Sam there.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, remember there's a banner going across your screen, so do smash a like on the video, do subscribe if you're new to the channel, and yeah, do leave your comments whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all that jazz. So do put your comments in because we can see them and I can read them out. So yeah, going into this game, Nitesh, as well, do you think we'll win it comfortably, or do you think we'll be one of those uncomfortable Europa League afternoons?
I think it's going to be very similar to the last game. We will start off slow. For a lot of impatient Arsenal fans who don't understand that there are players playing in that team who are maybe starting their first game ever. Like Balogun could be one of those. Or there are some players who might be starting their first game of the season. Like I think Joe Willock hasn't started. Yeah.
Let me just address my brother because he's in the chat. The reason why I'm not answering my phone is because I'm on a stream. That's pretty simple. I'm not answering my phone when I'm on a stream. So yeah, phone me at a better time. As you can see, I'm streaming because you're commenting on it. So big up Bertrand as well.
So I remember a few impatient Arsenal fans saying that we are so poor in this first half. We have a 1-goal lead, or 2-goal lead. I don't remember. We were 2-0 up, I think, before halftime. Some Arsenal fans saying that we just have a 1-goal lead. We should be killing this team. But also look at the players that are playing. Some of those players were making their first starts of the season. Some of those players haven't played at all. Like if you saw the guy Balogun, he came on in the second half. That was his first ever senior team appearance in the Europa League, I guess. So people need to be a bit patient. They're not superhumans. Even when Martinelli burst onto the scene, he looked good in pieces, but his main performances were in the cup competitions. And he didn't start off by scoring a hat-trick in the first 10 minutes of his career. Even when Saka came onto the scene, he also started off slowly. So yes, if they lose the game, you are okay to criticize and say that this is not right, this shouldn't be happening, we shouldn't be losing, even though it is a second string team. But
I just want to catch his comment before it. before I forget to read it out. Big up Christopher Ward. He said new sub after watching me on Claude's channel. Yeah, thanks for joining. And he said good day from Australia. Yeah, I hope Australia's treating you well, and hope you guys. I think you guys are finally getting past the COVID situation. So yeah, big up yourself. And I've actually been to Australia, so yeah, I've yeah, thanks for tuning in. Sorry, Natasha, I just wanted to grab the comment. Yeah, no worries, Sam.
But yeah,
no worries, Sam. I'll send you the link, Sam. Once I've set up the show. But yeah, no worries. That's cool. Sorry, Nitesh.
No worries. I was just saying that with respect to, I was saying that some of the young players, these players, they haven't played too much football for us this season. So unfortunately or fortunately, they will need some time to get into the mold, get into the habit of playing for Arsenal. And that is why people need to be patient. I could see last game, a few Arsenal fans were saying, what the hell is this performance? We are doing the same thing over and over again. No, we were not doing the same thing over and over again. Nicolas Pepe scored with his right damn foot. The guy scored with the right foot. Nicolas Pepe does not do that. Nicolas Pepe does not do that. He does not score with his right foot. So some strange, weird, different things happened in that Europa League game. And we will start slow. But at the end of the day, if we are able to pick up, if we are able to produce the result, we won comfortably. Then I think fans need to give them the 90 minutes, the players the 90 minutes to at least play, and then comment whether, yes, it was a good performance, it was a bad performance, we were absolute crap or whatever. At least give them the damn 90 minutes on the pitch. 10 minutes into the game, people start complaining.
Yeah. Problem is, I don't know. I just, yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. It's certainly tricky. Do you know what? I lost my train of thought there. I completely forgot what I was going to say. That's never good when you're halfway through a stream and you forget what you're going to say. That's mad.
Probably you must be thinking that my brother doesn't call me again.
No, that's fine. But I just lost my train of thought. I just had a mental blank. But yeah, I think we should be winning this game. And also if we win it as well, I think we're only 1 point off qualification. So I think we need a maximum of 10 points to qualify. If we win it, we'll have 9 points, won't we? So yeah, it is hopefully we can win the game, and then we can have hopefully we can make it a nice comfortable afternoon.
Yeah, I think the main concern will be the Aston Villa game, if at all, any. So I think this game should not be of any concern to us, real concern. We should be winning it, and hopefully we do win it. But even if we end up playing a draw or we do not win it for any reason, we can always go back to the main team for a game. But that being said, we should not be needing them in the Europa League group stages. Yes, I can understand if we need some of the first team players in the knockout stages or once the Champions League teams are in the competition. But at this time, I don't think we really need those players. I think this team should be good enough. The youngsters should be good enough to get the job done. And I think that is about it. I don't think we'll have any kind of scare with respect to that.
Let's have a look here. So yeah, big up. It's nice to see the 2 new subs in the chat as well. So listen, it's good to see you all there in the chat. Jack's asking, he can't believe that Partey signed for us. Mate, to be honest, right, I think most Arsenal fans are like that because, you know, he obviously left Atletico Madrid to come to Arsenal. And, you know, listen, Atletico are still in the Champions League. We're not at the moment. We're still in a team in transition. But, yeah, listen, I think most Arsenal fans are sort of scratching their heads pleasantly and happily, but still scratching their heads.
I think the question that I would like to ask Jack is, how did Gabriel choose Arsenal over Manchester United? You should be wondering that. That is more of a tough question for you to. That is more of a tough pill for you to swallow.
Sam says Molde should not be giving us any problems.
Yeah, as Sam said, he has coached one of the players, so he would have an idea. And it is a Norwegian club as well, so he would know about the quality that they have. So he should have a better idea as well.
Jack's predicting a 2-0 Aston Villa win at the weekend. Listen, that's for the preview of that game. We will get onto that. Just want to give you guys a heads up as well. There will be a watch along tomorrow on this channel. So please do tune in. Listen, I know everybody is Weld and his wife in terms of Arsenal channels do watch alongs, but hopefully you guys can pop in and leave a comment and participate. So yeah, listen, that will be happening. I'll be joined by my regular partner in crime, and that is Simpy, and then also Sam's popping in. So yeah, please do everybody tune in to that, and hopefully we can have a comfortable victory tomorrow, because our Europa League campaign's gone pretty decently. To be fair, hasn't it, Nitesh?
I don't think we have any real competition in the Europa League. I mean, in the group stages, that is what I'm trying to say. Even though we know that Spurs is shit, but they are playing well, so they will be competing with us. But later on, right now, I don't think that there is any real competition in the group stages, so we don't need to worry about that. This part of this phase of the tournament so far, we don't really need to worry about it.
Let's have a look. So Bertrand says, do I rate Fekir? No, sorry, Jonathan Porter. I will get to your comment, Bertrand. Sorry. Jonathan Porter's put in his team, so he's gone for Runarsson. Let me try and look at that.
Should I look at it? I'll just quickly read it out then. Wait.
Yeah, go for it. You read it out if you've got it there. That's fine.
Yeah, it's Runarsson, Cedric on the right, Mustafi and Kolasinac, I guess, in the center, Ainsley Maitland-Niles on the left wing, left full back, and that is the left back. I think he's predicting a back four. Zaka and Ceballos and Willock in the middle, Pepe, Nekitia and Nelson up front. So he's playing a 4-3-3. That is what he's predicting for tomorrow's game.
Yeah, and he said to the end of that rests everybody. It's not a bad lineup, and that's probably what will happen. Jack says United isn't dead, it's dying, but Champions League. Yeah, you may have Champions League, but to be fair though, Man United are in a worse place than we are.
I said it on a few shows on some of the other channels that I don't know why I get this feeling that Solskjaer knows that this is his last season at Manchester United, and he's targeting the Champions League instead of the Premier League. Look at the way that they're setting up and playing in the Champions League. I get the feeling that he's keen on trying to win something in Europe rather than in the Premier League. Because one more thing that I would like to add to that, which I said before as well, clubs from Spain and Italy are struggling to an extent. And this could be a good chance for a Manchester United to try to get a win somehow in the Champions League.
Dolly Ben says Gabriel chose Banter FC Arsenal over the biggest team United, and El Neni bossed the midfield. A lot of hate towards United in this stream.
No, good thing I told him to come on to the stream. He said he'll come in the chat and he's here.
Who said that, sorry?
No, I had invited Dali to watch the stream.
Yeah. So remember, guys, do smash a like on this video. Let's have a look. What else? So they're talking about Real Madrid could go into the to the Europa League.
They just beat Inter. They beat Inter yesterday. I don't think that is going to happen. There is still more things to fall in place for that to happen.
Is it just me? I can't make out. Jack says it. I can't make out the difference between Sami Zayn and Mustafi.
No,
Fair
Sami
enough.
Zayn has the cap. Sami Zayn has the cap, but yes, they are both the same. They look the same, and they're both probably shit. I think Sami Zayn is better than Mustafi in what he does,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Remember, guys, smash a like on this video. Would really appreciate it. Do hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Share the content and share the channel. Like I say, I'm on the road to 1,200 subscribers, which is my short-term target, and then my all-time target, especially at the moment, is to get to 5,000. So yeah, well on the way to that. So hopefully I can get that before very long. So yeah, Nitesh, this game tomorrow, would you do you think that Arteta will rest a lot of players, or do you think that do you think that he'll stick with this midfield of Partey and El Neni? Do you think that he'll keep that because it was so well? So do you think he'd want to see it in another game?
no, I don't think so. I think he's going to rest them. I'll tell you the reason why. Because if you see the next round of fixtures, we have after this game we have Aston Villa coming up, which is obviously in the Premier League, and after that there are a few quick fixtures as well. We have Leeds, but sorry, there is the international break, and after that there are a few quick fixtures as well. And so what will happen is he will want to keep his players as fresh as possible heading into the international break so that they can quickly perform the duty that they're expected at the international level, and they are fresh and they're fit. Because the problem is that if he does not need he does not feel the necessity to play these players right now. Like, why do you need a Thomas Partey against a team like Mold? I mean, it wouldn't make sense. If you want to give them
Yeah,
a good run and if you want to make them play at their 100% level, then you want that against Aston Villa, because Aston Villa is going to sit deep and it's going to be a hectic test. And after that, obviously, as I said, there is an international break, and Thomas Partey, the likes of Thomas Partey and probably Elneny will also go on their international duties.
yeah.
So
Let me grab
those guys,
this comment. Let me just
sure.
quickly grab this comment because I forgot to read it out. Apologies, Bertrand. He said, "Do you rate for?" He's asking me if I rate for Kier. Would you take him? He can add some creativity. Um, do you know what? Fakir is I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I don't rate him as much as I rate Awar. But I suppose I'll probably take him in the short term. But again, is he not just going to be like another Ozil? Good
And
evening to you, Russ, as well.
I will
Joining.
just ask Bertrand one thing. Bertrand, do you think that, see, Real Betis has Nabil Fakir right now, so Real Betis wanted Dani Ceballos as well. So if you rate Dani Ceballos as a very highly rated player, then I think you can rate Nabil Fakir as a highly rated player as well, because they are both more or less at a similar level. Yes, Fakir has a bit more creativity, but
Yeah,
Ceballos has other attributes like ball winning, and sometimes his set pieces are good. So, but I guess get the feeling that both of them are at a similar level. That is why a club like Real Betis, which got Nabil Fakir, also wants a player like Dani Ceballos. So if you take it in that sense, if you compare in that sense, I think both of them are decent. But are they going to win us a Premier League title? I don't think so, unless they produce something special. On his day, when Dani Ceballos is producing something special, he can win us a big game. But how many times does that happen in a Premier League season? Not too many times. And when you have options like Ben Rama, who are already proving themselves in the championship and ready to go to the Premier League, I think we should go for players like Ben Rama rather than going for Nabil Fakir, who's not played in the Premier League.
yeah. No, it is just proper mode. Chris says, he's obviously answering Jack here, but I'm going to read it out. He said, because I agree with him. He says, if United get Pochettino, I can see United going places.
But I'll be honest with the Arsenal fans as well. I think Manchester United still has a better squad than Arsenal, and when it is all said and done at the end of the season, they may finish above us. They could, because they have a better squad. That is the thing that worries me.
Yeah. So going back to this game tomorrow as well, do you think that Arteta should try new things out in this game tomorrow to try and solve our problem of creativity? Because we do have a massive problem, even against United. Let's not have it right. It was a great win, but on the downside of that, there was an issue, with creativity, and winning by 1 goal is only going to get us so far. We need to, solve that, because it's not always going to be the case. We're not always going to be able to win by 1 goal. We need to start winning by more.
I'll tell you something. Rather than wasting his time on Nicola Pepe, Mikel Arteta should rather tell Aubameyang to start the game, go score a hat-trick, get back your form, and then start murdering clubs in the Premier League again. If you saw against Manchester United, he was very tentative. Even Lacazette. If you remember the chance where Lacazette passed it to Aubameyang, and Aubameyang hit it at Lindelof. If it was an informed Lacazette, he would have not passed the ball. He would have pushed 2-3 paces ahead and taken a direct shot and scored. If it was an informed Aubameyang, he would have never given Lindelof the chance to put that foot in, and he would have probably hit it into the top corner. But because both of them were so tentative and both of them are out of form, they both messed it up. One, Lacazette gave it to Aubameyang, which was I thought it was a weak pass. And as I said, if it was an informed Lacazette, he would have taken the shot and scored. Second thing, if it was an informed Aubameyang, he would have definitely scored that goal against Manchester United in the first half. Both of them are out of form. I would tell them that I want you to start. I want you to play 1 half. Then second half, I will give it to the kids, or vice versa. I will start with the kids, and then I want you to come on for half an hour. I want you to score at least 1 goal each, so that you both get your form, and then you start scoring in the Premier League. And it is not going to be that you don't need to put in a very hard shift, because we are playing Aston Villa at the weekend. But I want you to put in a good 30-minute shift where at least you get 1 goal minimum, if not more. So that is what I would do.
Just want to apologize as well if I miss your comment, because they're moving absolutely like crazy this afternoon. So that's really. Jonathan says we could try Pepe in a more central position to see if that works. Chris said, I can't pronounce that. Who's that player that Chris said he has to, if we would sign him in the window?
Chris Miles? No, which one? Sorry, not Miles. But would you have gone Buendia? Oh, he's the one from Norwich.
Buendia. Yeah, I would take him. I think he's a decent player, but
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. We are not signing any championship player. If we wanted to sign a championship player, Ben Rama was hands down for the taking, but no, didn't take him. West Ham got him. Imagine that.
Sam says, I would like to see Smith Rowe tomorrow. Yes, I agree. And Sam also says no need to play Partey. That would be a waste. Actually, I disagree with you, Sam, for the simple fact being that he could try and get that partnership of Partey and El Neni, get them used to playing together, because I do feel that Partey and El Neni could be a midfield pairing going forward, and that way we can leave out Granit Xhaka. They need time to play together and develop their partnership.
I think, unfortunately, Daniel is going to play Granit Xhaka's game in the making. I think that is it is squad rotation, basically. It's not that he wants to play Granit Xhaka, but at the end of the day, squad rotation is a must. So it will be Xhaka. Xhaka and
Ceballos. Jack's called Aubameyang the Gabonese Shane Long. you joker. Absolute joker. To be fair, though, Aubameyang is much better than your front three, Jack.
Not in terms of play, but obviously in terms of goal scoring, I think he's better. But if Aubameyang is the Gabonese Shane Long, then what do you want to call Anthony Martial, the United Abu Dhabi? He gets injured after every 2 games.
The Europa League at this stage is all about squad rotation. It is, but it's also about trying to form partnerships, say like Partey and El Neni, because if it doesn't work out in the Europa League, who really gives a shit? But if it doesn't work out in the Premier League, you're going to get Arsenal fans going, oh, why are you trying that? Why aren't you going with more experience? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Because we all know that our fan base is fucked. Like, our fan base is more fucked than some elements of this club. Do you know what I mean? So, the Europa League is there to try out new tactics, to try and put new things in place. Because at the moment, Arteta's doing it in the wrong games. He's doing it in the big games, but he's, not doing it in the Europa League games, where actually you probably get a little bit more leeway where you can do that because the level of opposition, the quality of opposition is so poor. Whereas you don't want to be experimenting against a Man City and a Liverpool, as we found out to our cost this season already.
No, but I get the feeling, I'll be honest with you. See, we are already going to be playing Manchester City soon. So the problem is he cannot experiment there. In the EFL quarterfinal, yeah.
Chris Ward says the Willock should be playing. The thing with Joe Willock as well, I rate him, but his decision making needs to be a bit better than what it is.
His finishing is awful.
With that final pass. Yeah, not just his finishing though, but with the final pass, playing the wrong ball, he needs to get a little bit better. But I do feel that'll come in time. I do think that there is talent there with Joe Willock, but like I say, he just needs to make more on his decision making.
No, but again, with respect to Willock, I think his best performances under Emery came in that left wing back position, because of the fact that he didn't have to finish off his chances. He's very bad in front of goal, and that is one of his main problems. It was a small team, so he did score. I'm not disagreeing on that. But when he comes to playing against bigger teams, he fails to score. So his finishing is a major problem at that point of time. He crumbles under pressure, just like Eddie Nketiah.
Sam Greenwood says, I'm sick of playing Man City. Yeah, I'm sick of playing Man City. And he said Willock was man of the match last game.
I think Pepe was. I don't know. Willock or Pepe, anyone, one of those. I don't know officially who was, but one of those.
Chris said that's why he should play in Europa, because of, I think alluded to his decision making. Yeah, I think Europa's maybe his level at the moment. I don't think it warrants him putting him in the Premier League squad, because there are better players above him, in my opinion.
Who's Willock's? Are you talking about Willock?
Yeah, Joe Willock.
Yeah. He should have been away on loan this season. I don't know why he's still in the team.
Yeah. Remember, guys, do smash a like on the video. Do hit the subscribe button if you're new. Also, going across your screens is the link to all my other platforms: Twitter at The Blind Gooner, Facebook page The Blind Gooner. So do go and give me a follow and like my page, and also share this content, share the channel around, and like I say, I'm on the road to 1,200 subscribers. I'm almost there, 20 odd away. So yeah, please do that for me. I'd really appreciate it. Nitesh, listen, we've talked about what kind of game we expect tomorrow. But we've not spoken about yet what lineup. So if you go through and give us what lineup you would pick, and then I'll give you my lineup.
So Runnerson at goal, no doubt about it. And I think Cedric will start as right back. Even though I want to start a 3-4-3, I know Arteta will do what he wants to do again and go for a 4-3-3. So it will be Cedric there. Centre back, I don't think he should play Mustafi. I think Rob Holding will play again, because Rob Holding is regaining fitness. Gabriel will not be playing. I think it will be one of the injured ones. I think it could be if David Luiz is back tomorrow, he could be playing. And the other option, if David Luiz is not ready to play, then I think it will have to be then Mustafi or Kolasinac again. Once again, I think Kolasinac will be the call. It will not be Mustafi. It will be Kolasinac and Rob Holding. Or if David Luiz comes in, then David Luiz and Rob Holding. That will be the case. On the left-hand side, it has to be Ainsley again. In front, if it is the 3, it has to be Willock will be there. And I think it will be Xhaka and Ceballos. Those 3. Sorry. And with respect to the front 3, it will be Eddie, Reese, and Pepe. Pepe on the left, Reese on the right, Eddie in the middle. But being optimistic, I hope Eddie is on the bench and Balogun is starting. And Russ Morgan is saying, just a comment I'm quickly addressing. He's saying that Saliba Arteta clearly doesn't want him. No, actually, he had confessed in his press conference before the last game he made a mistake that he did not include him with all the injuries that the team has suffered. And he said that he should have included him in the squad. So it's not that he doesn't want him. I don't know. According to him, in his mind, he's not ready. He's being overprotective as always. That is the only problem Arteta has sometimes.
Yeah. I don't think Arteta, like you said, I don't think it's not that he doesn't want Saliba. I think, like you said, he's just being massively overprotective, and he should just throw him in there. At least, the mistake he made, and I think he realizes that now, is not registering him for the Europa League squad. I think that's the mistake he's made. Sam says he's on the road to nowhere. Yeah. Do you know what it is, Sam? Like, I know it's tricky because like you work and stuff, but consistency with YouTube. I find that if you let your channel go quiet for a little bit, people get bored. And
here we go. Sam had to say it.
Jack says, he said, in all seriousness, Aubameyang's a world-class striker. I hope he never scores against you. Well, he did kind of on Sunday. Scored a penalty.
Sam did it.
Sam, well, this one where he said, watch out for the farmers.
No, the next one.
Oh, Sam, this comment. Sell Lacazette. Sell Lacazette. Yes, I agree. We should sell Lacazette because for a striker, his goal return is not good enough. Not good enough. But listen, I'm going to get into, before we get onto this Lacazette debate, because I know Nitesh is itching like a Russian prostitute to get onto this Lacazette debate. But before we do, I'm going to go through my lineup for the game tomorrow. So yeah, I would start. I'll go with Runarsson in goal because I thought he'd done all right last time out. Okay, he didn't really have a lot to do. So yeah, I thought he'd done all right. So I would go with him. Then a back 4 because I think Arteta's moving to this 4-3-3. Cedric, Holding, David Luiz, because David Luiz is fit now. I saw that on. I've seen Charles Watts reported it earlier. So I think Holding, David Luiz, and Tierney. I think we should play Tierney in this game.
No, he's not going to play it, but okay.
Well, this is what I would go with. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Sure.
Okay. And then the 3 in midfield, I'll go for Partey, Elneny, and Ceballos. Because Ceballos needs a decent game. He needs a run out. And then on the right, I'd go with Nelson. Up front, I'd go with Balogun. And then on the left, I would go with Bukayo Saka. So yeah, that would be kind of my lineup that I would go with.
Just an afterthought, Daniel. We are playing Molde. We are not playing Manchester United again.
No, I know, but No, but that's a balance. That's a balance between experience and youth.
No, I mean, I understand, but you are picking a lineup like you are going like Molde is our biggest enemy of all time, our biggest rival, and we literally want to murder them in the
No, not
Europa
really.
League.
I'm going with a lineup that has youth and experience, and also the way I
Yeah.
look at it is how are these players meant to get comfortable with each other if they're not being given a chance to play with each other enough? Because we know that Arteta keeps chopping and changing the lineup, but he needs to go with more. You know, how are these players meant to form a good bond? You know, if they're constantly being changed all the time, so there's got to be some continuity in the team. I get that, you know,
Yeah.
it's only Molde, but there has to be some continuity. There has to be some consistency, which at the moment there isn't.
Yeah, but with respect to say, Tierney, I say because I said that I don't think he'll play because you know how injury prone he is. So I think Arteta will use him very wisely in games that he's needed. And Saka again, he picked up a knock 2 games ago. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. Hey Jack, I just want to address your comment. No worries, mate. You can banter. You can banter me all you want, mate. I'm all for the banter. That's what this channel's about, banter. So don't feel like you know you can't banter me because you can. So listen, I take the banter just the best as anybody. Ask any of the regulars in the chat. So yeah, listen, you know, don't be afraid to do that.
Yeah, we are enjoying it. This is not our rage mode. We have had some rage modes. Daniel generally doesn't have them, but this is none of those. You should see me and Sam debating.
Yeah. Christopher Ward agrees with a lot of us. Says Lacquer out. Omar says, with all due respect, we should be winning this one. I agree. Christopher Ward says lack of threat. Yeah, I agree. Omar, Jesus, Omar, you're being positive again. Jesus Christ. I hope you're not sick. He's going for a 4-1 Arsenal win.
I think
yeah. Let's because I've gone through my lineup. So let's go on because I know you're itching like a Russian prostitute with herpes to go on to this topic. Let's go on to the Lacazette topic because I know you're dying to. So Nitesh, you want to keep him. You want to keep him, so I'll let you have the floor. You can say your point, and then I'll come back at it, and then we'll read some chats.
I think he had a great performance against Manchester United. Unfortunately, neither him nor Aubameyang are in full flow right now. Otherwise, they could have had a couple of goals within each other, like in their own chances that they created. Like, I mean, Lacazette set up Aubameyang for a golden chance to score. He himself had a chance. Both were blocked by Lindelof. Unfortunately, Lindelof deflected the ball that came into Lacazette, so he could not connect with it. He blocked Aubameyang's shot as well. Both chances. One was set up by Lacazette. One was he was about to score. He couldn't score because of that. Apart from that, further the thing is that if you saw the game, his hold-up play was great. He was troubling the Manchester United defense. He was creating space for other players to run into. Saka was also getting a lot of space because of what he was doing. He was inviting fouls onto him. He almost set up the chance for Willian, where he hit the post. He has been doing that even in the Leicester game. He was linking up well. Unfortunately, he did not get the goal which he scored because of the referee, because of Xhaka, whatever reason. But what was the highlight of the 2 games that people focused on? People focused on the one miss that he had against Leicester, the one header where he asked Tierney to put the ball on his foot. Tierney put in a very quick cross on his head. I'm not saying he shouldn't have scored. He should have scored. But everyone is highlighting that. Yeah.
Nitesh, you got Twitter up there. Can you DM Sam the link so he wants to come on?
One sec. I'll have to just go to Twitter.
So I'll read some comments out while you're doing that. Omar says Laka's one of the most overrated strikers. Sam, it's on the way. Nitesh is just sending it to you.
Yep.
A lot alluding to Lacazette being the Darius Vassell, French Darius Vassell, and Emil Heskey. Chris, yeah, Natesha's itching to have this debate like a Russian prostitute with herpes. Do you know what I mean?
I've sent Sam the link.
So Sam, you've got the link. So yeah, guys, remember while we're waiting for Sam to join us, as we have this debate, do smash a like on the video, do subscribe if you're new to the channel, and do share the content, do share the channel around. And do you know what? It's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, it's actually gone, it's way beyond that. And I didn't think the stream would be lit like this. So thanks to everybody who's joined and tuning in. Listen, it's been fantastic.
It's about to get more lit. Just let Sam come on and let the debate start.
Let me add Sam in because he's backstage. So, and his stream name Alexander Heskey. Oh my god! Sorry, I'm just creasing up at that. And here he is, Sam Greenwood, the man from Norway, who knows more about Norwegian prostitutes than Norwegian football.
That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. That is. Yes. So we're talking about the French Darius Vassell, eh? Bloody hell, this guy. Honestly, I tell you what. I know you Indians believe in reincarnation and everything, but I think in a previous life, I think Lacazette was Nitish's father or something.
but I get the feeling that he was in the last game and the game before that our best forward in both the games. Well,
we didn't really play that well. I mean, the forwards didn't really play that well, any of them really. But I thought Lacazette had a very poor game, and everyone I was reading and talking to, I mean, online and everything, said the same thing. I mean, you're the only person that said Lacazette had a good game. Everyone else has just completely slated him. I mean, he was.
It depends. It depends on whom you follow. It depends on whom you follow again.
I mean, what did he? I mean, what did he do? I mean, he had a couple of decent link-ups. Apart from that, the ball just bounced off of him as it normally does. And the thing with Lacazette is, I just think he's lost a lot of the spring in his step. He's more. He seems to be slower now. He seems to be slower, more lethargic. He seems like he's not that same, fast, quick player he used to be. And it's affecting him.
Sam, I agree with you, right? I agree with you. And Lacazette's not just had a poor game; he's had a poor season and a half. Let's be honest about this. He's had a poor season and a half.
He scored 3 goals in a row, basically. Well, 2 of the goals my dead grandmother could have scored. But still, at the end of the day, he was in the right position. I mean, you've got to, of course, a striker has to be in the right position to do those things. But still, they were very, very easy goals. And people got a bit carried away with that. But, I mean, the guy is just, for me, he's just not good enough. I mean, we need a better player in that position. And for me, Aubameyang should be playing in the middle anyway. We shouldn't be playing Lacazette in the middle. We should be playing Aubameyang in the middle, Saka out left, and then either Long John Silver outright or maybe Willian. I don't know. Willian's not impressing much either at the moment, is he? But one of the two outright. And Lacazette shouldn't even be playing, to be honest. I'd rather sell him and get 30, 40 million for him and spend that money elsewhere. Because, I mean, Lacazette just hasn't done anything for such a long time. He's slower. He's always losing the ball. He does silly tackles. The one thing he does well is he links up well with midfield. He'll sit deep and link up well with midfield and then pass the ball on sometimes, maybe to someone ahead of him. But he sits too deep. He sits far too deep, and he's not that type of player.
There is no midfield creativity. No midfield creativity.
He's not that type of player. That's the thing. He's taking on a role that he shouldn't be taking on. And it's just, he's just not. And even then when we had the likes of Ozil playing and everything, he wasn't great. I mean, he's just not what he used to be. He seems to have lost his, lost a step, lost that, extra, you know what I'm talking about. That energy level seems to have gone a bit. He's not quite as quick and responsive.
As well.
Yeah,
his pace has gone. He wasn't the paciest of strikers, but his pace has gone. Let me just grab these comments before they go. Big up yourself, Chris. 3 a.m. in Australia. Listen, thanks for tuning in because I know you know. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in.
Chris.
And Omar says, yeah, Laka's barely scores goals, and that's the thing. From a striker, I'm all for the hold-up play being, you know, a good factor in his game. But for me, a striker, if he's not scoring goals, he's not doing his job properly.
There's an interesting point I want to make here, because me and Nitish have been going backwards and forwards with this for a long time, and it comes to when we're sort of trying to compare our front three with the Liverpool front three, and I'm always backing Firmino, and Nitish is saying, well, Firmino never scores. You know, and I'm backing him because I'm saying he plays a vital role in that front three. And I think that's what Nitish is seeing in Lacazette. He's playing a vital role, and I'm saying, well, he never scores. It's basically the opposite of Firmino. And the funny point is if you can back up Firmino, then you know if I'm backing up Firmino, right? You know, if you can't see that in Firmino, then maybe I can't see the same in Lacazette. It's a funny thing. But look what Klopp just did now against Atalanta. He changed out Firmino with Jota. Look what happened. You know, I think this is the type of thing we need to start looking at now, that maybe this, you know, false nine type of deep lying role, we need to try and forget that now and, you know, do something different.
There are two things to that.
Omar says,
let Tisha answer that one, because
there are two things
I've just
to that.
made a couple of points.
We don't have creative midfielders like Liverpool does. We don't. So, and we don't have Jota as well. We have Eddie Nketiah. So you need to understand, what if we go to Eddie Nketiah, he does nothing at all. He can't even control the ball against big teams in the Premier League. So unfortunately, whether we like it or not, and Aubameyang cannot play that. If Aubameyang plays at the center, the entire play will end with Aubameyang, because he's not going to link up if he can barely pass it to another Arsenal player. So that is the problem. Second thing, I've been saying this for a long time. Kieran Tierney delivers crosses in the air. He puts in aerial balls. He barely puts in grounded passes. And most of the crosses are coming from the left. They are coming from him. So Lacazette is the one who can head it. Aubameyang does not take too many headers. He does not fight or tussle with the defenders, with the centre backs, that I will head the ball. He will hit it if it comes to his foot. But Tierney doesn't put those grounded passes. Out of 5 crosses, he'll put 1 as a grounded one. So that is why even Arteta can see the same thing. He knows that I have Lacazette and I have Aubameyang. Why he does not play Aubameyang? This is one of the reasons as well. Link up will break. The entire thing that Lacazette playing back the ball to Partey, holding it against the defender, centre back, and then playing it to Partey
distributing
it, that will break. Because Aubameyang can't hold the ball, he can't shield the ball from a defender.
He can score goals.
But we don't need Aubameyang. We don't need Aubameyang sitting deep. We can play further up.
Yeah.
If with Partey in the team now, we can have an extra attacking player in midfield who can make that link up role.
And Chris makes a good point here. He said, put Aubameyang in the middle, and you'll see the immediate improvement. And you can't argue with that.
Because of the crossing. We're crossing from the left, we're crossing from the right, we're crossing into the middle to a player who never scores. Lacazette hardly ever scores. He's useless at finishing. So we should have our best finisher in the middle, receiving crosses. Okay, in the air, he's not the best in the air, but for me, he's better in the air than what Lacazette is for me. And then, but then you got to look at the type of crossing we do. Then we shouldn't cross in the air. We should maybe try and cross, you know, more along the ground, go down to the byline and cross it back in, you know. But the thing is, when we didn't have Partey, we were struggling in midfield. You know, we were lacking that creative role in midfield. Now we have Partey. We need to put a more creative or forward-minded player in that midfield who will then link up the attack with the midfield. Because then Aubameyang can stay up front as a striker in the middle and be at the end of all our crosses. Because to me, it's so wasted to see Aubameyang out left crossing in to Lacazette. It shouldn't be like that. Aubameyang should be at the end of the cross. He is our best finisher. right? Our best finishes should be at the end of our attacks, not creating them.
See, that is why I feel that Arteta should probably, instead of using a 3-4-3, try to use a 3-4-1-2, because then Lacazette stays in the midfield or he comes back in the midfield. And that, see, what happens is when you're playing a 3-4-3, I'm giving an example. When the ball is with the midfield, the opposition midfield will also be there. So, because we do not have a creative midfielder who can play through balls like maybe Alexis Sanchez used to do before, or Ozil used to do, not does, Ozil used to do. What happens is the two midfielders will play the ball with each other. Lacazette will come back, he will get a pass, he will draw some players onto him, he will give back the ball, and then the ball goes to the wings, which goes to either Tierney or goes to Bellerin. So this passes, 1-2 passing is a must, so that it draws players. Aubameyang will never come back. If he comes back, then the box will again be empty. So that is another problem. With respect to those tactics, you need one player when you don't have a creative midfielder who can play through balls. If we had a player like, which I keep saying, Ramsey, or someone like Ramsey, or we replaced him properly, then that player would have just played the through ball, and Lacazette wouldn't have the need to come back and try to support the midfield. Because of the lack of creativity, even El Neni does not create. That is another problem. That is why people ask. Yeah.
Nitesh, you really need to get over this hangover, the fact that we sold Aaron Ramsey.
No, I'm saying replace with a similar player. Like he used to score.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but
I know
he's not coming back. He's not
I know
coming
he's saying.
back.
I know he's saying. It's that type of player. It's that type of player we're missing. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's that type of player. But for me, we have a few players we can try in that role. I mean, first of all, Ceballos, we can try further up the field because he played that role for Real Betis. He was very good with the Spanish under-21s in that role. We have Emil Smith-Rowe, supposed to be very good, who Arteta rates highly. Well, he's apparently back to full fitness now, so I'd like to see him tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. I'd like to see him play tomorrow in that role, actually, to see if he can actually handle it, because Willock played very well in that role, was nearly that role in the last Europa League game. So I'd like to see Smith Rowe do it, and because I was saying now we have Partey, who we can let. I mean, you see how incredibly dynamic he is. I mean, we can let him just shield the defence in midfield, and we can have a more attacking player just lying up there, being more attacking, linking up with the attack. Now we can afford to do that. We don't have to worry about shielding our defence so much as we had to do before we had Partey. So now it gives us that luxury to think a bit more attacking in midfield, and that's what we should be doing. And then for me, then that's when Aubameyang can come in the middle, where he doesn't then need to drop deep. He can stay up a bit, because for me, Aubameyang, he has to be on the end of crosses. He shouldn't be crossing them, and that's unfortunately where Lacazette, he's just not good enough. And now, in this to play, yes, he drops deep, links up well, but then you look at the way we've been playing. It doesn't really work that well, does it? I mean, it just, our attack. We've been talking about this. Our attack has been poor for a long time now, with the way it's set up. And I think we need to change the setup. We need to change who plays where. Aubameyang out left. I mean, look, Aubameyang out left has been invisible for 3-4 games now. Yes, he scored a penalty. Anyone can score a penalty. But, I mean, you look at the actual play, Aubameyang's been invisible. Absolutely invisible. And, it's just not good enough to have our best player, basically, our best striker, and captain invisible. We have to make him a part of our play and get him on the end of our crosses.
But I will disagree against Manchester United. He wasn't invisible. He had a few good moves and a few good chances, but he's out of form, so he couldn't finish him.
Yeah, he's also out of form, which doesn't help. So, but I don't think it helps him to play out left. I really don't, and the stats have shown it as well. I was talking about this on was it Ryan's channel? I was saying, you look at the stats as well. When you see him playing out left, his stats are poorer, and the XG and all that. I know XG, people talk about XG, but his XG is actually lower playing out left than he is in the middle, and we need to get more out of him, we really do.
And even if you see the Manchester United game, the chance that he had, Lacazette, Willian was far onto the right, Lacazette moved slightly towards the right, and Aubameyang came central. And that chance which he got, which Lindelof blocked, it wasn't from the left. He was central. No. He was towards the center of the box.
That's the idea. He moves in, but the thing is, he doesn't. if he's moving in all the time, why doesn't he just play in the middle? That's what I'm saying. He should just play in the middle. Then he doesn't have to worry about moving in all the time. And the other thing is, when he's out left, you see so many times, not as much recently, because I was saying he's been out of form and everything and quite invisible. But when you've seen him play out left recently, he gets the ball out left in a wide position, and you see him struggle he struggles to pass the ball correctly. And you see him out trying to cross the ball with his left foot. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. He hasn't got that precision to cross the ball. He's a finisher. He's not a crosser. He's not someone who lays up the ball for other people. He is a pure finisher. He is a goal-scoring machine. And we've got our goal-scoring machine playing out left, where he will
accommodate Lacazette.
He will more often than not be in a position where he needs to lay off the ball and pass instead of finishing it. And that, for me, is just completely wrong.
So Chris Ward here, he said, Giroud's hold-up play is better than Lacazette's, and he scores goals. Do you think we should have kept him because he would have been a great backup for Aubameyang?
We needed both, but neither wanted to be the second choice at that point of time, because it would have meant a place in the French national team, which obviously Giroud won the World Cup. So that was the thing. But you could have had Aubameyang, Giroud, and Giroud could have played as the target man. Aubameyang could have still played out on the left. Do you think they would have complemented each other better than Lacazette and Aubameyang? Because let's be honest, Lacazette's not. Like I say, he's not really doing much. And Bertrand makes a comment here. He said, "I don't want my strikers holding up play. I want them in the box scoring goals." And I agree with that. You've got players in midfield who can hold the ball. We've got Partey who can carry the ball better. Strikers should be scoring goals. And it's not about carrying the ball. It's about that final pass, the through ball. There is no one to play the through ball. Partey can run with the ball, but he cannot play those through balls. El Neni can run with the ball. He cannot play those through balls. One of the biggest drawbacks for El Neni is that his creativity is absolutely crap. He can take shots at goal. Partey can do the same, but they can't play through balls. That is why Dani Ceballos is being preferred. And one last thing I just want to add, Arteta is not playing Lacazette to accommodate Lacazette. Arteta is playing Lacazette to accommodate his tactics, which are Tierney crossing the ball into the box from the left, which are aerial crosses, because he does that. That is what he does, put in aerial crosses. And this is what Lacazette accommodates. It is Arteta's playing style with Tierney on the left, putting in crosses. Aubameyang will not head the ball. He will not even compete for five out of five crosses. He may compete for a cross or two, because he's not that good in the air. His best talent is when he has the ball at his foot, he will dribble around one player and possibly shoot it into the goal, or use the player as a shield and score the goal. That is his best attribute. It is not to score from aerial crosses. It is not to compete with the centre backs. It is not to fight for the ball. It is not to show his physical presence with the ball, on the ball. It is not to also draw too many players. Yes, but when he plays on the wings, he gets a lot of space. And if he draws 2 to 3 players, because teams are scared of Aubameyang, then he frees up space for Lacazette. He frees up space for Willian. He frees up space for Saka. So that is what Aubameyang is also doing.
But Nitesh, Lacazette, with the amount of chances he gets, and he gets a lot of chances, he does nothing with those chances. And in a team that lacks creativity, where we need to be taking the chances that we do get, because we don't get many chances because of our lack of creativity, you can't have a passenger who's not scoring goals in that striking position when we've got a world-class striker who's banging in the goals and who's got the best goal-scoring record at the moment in the Premier League. He needs to be in a position where he can bang in the goals, because we don't have the luxury of creating that many chances. And the chances we do get, we need to take them. And Lacazette is just not taking them. And it's a hindrance on our team. I'm sorry, but we can't carry him. We can't carry him just because of his hold-up.
As I said, he's lost his step as well. He's not as quick as he used to be. He's just not the player he used to be. We didn't sell him. We didn't get rid of him, recoup some money, and then spend that money on someone else. And And I agree, Nketiah, even though I think Nketiah's got the same amount of goals as Lacazette so far this season, I agree, Nketiah's not really the answer either, because he's just not. He's too limited. He's a limited player. You know, he's a poacher. He can play in that advanced role. You know, towing the line right at the top. But he can't really come and meet the ball very well. He's not very technically. You know, he's not a great passer of the ball. For me, Nketiah is a finisher, good finisher, but limited. And we need someone who's a bit more than that. You know, maybe Balogun is better all round. I think we need to see more of Balogun now in the Europa League. See if maybe he is something better for us. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Nketiah is not great either. I would maybe even, I know it's probably a bit controversial to say this now, because I think Nketiah, he's getting to the point now where we need to decide, we're going to keep him or let him go. We can't keep sending him out on loan. We need to make a decision with him. And for me, with the likes of Balogun, we've got Martinelli still to come back. You know, I would rather cash in on Nketiah. I really would. Cash in on Nketiah, cash in on Lacazette. We've got Martinelli coming back. We've got Balogun, who looks very promising. And maybe buy another striker, another promising striker. That's what I would rather do.
Yeah. Big up there, Adrian J, who's joined. Thanks for tuning in, mate. And thanks for tuning in, and another new person to the chat. Listen, I just don't think we can waste a position on Lacazette when he's not performing. I don't see how you justify keeping him in the team. You know, especially not at the moment. Yeah. And you know, it's all well and good having hold-up play, but what's the point of having hold-up play if the end result is that he's not going to score a goal? What's the point in the hold-up play? The hold-up play then becomes immaterial, because partly to hold up the ball is so that other players around you can score a goal.
He did set up for Aubameyang. He did score against Leicester, if not for the referee's stupid call. Or Xhaka, whatever way you want to put it.
2 goals, but he doesn't do it frequently enough, Nitesh. So well and good doing it one often every so often.
He was scoring every game. He got dropped because he scored one, but he missed a chance or two against Liverpool, which no one will say was Alisson's good save. But when Saka had a very clear chance to score against Ederson, everyone on Twitter was like, what a great save by Ederson. But when Alisson saved Lacazette's shot, no one said great save by Alisson. They said Lacazette missed chances. Last season, as Sam was saying, Firmino had one goal at Anfield. That too in the last game of the season. One single damn goal. He did not score in the entire season. No goal at all. He did get barely a few assists. But the thing is, they have Jota. We don't have Jota. We have Eddie Nketiah. We have an injured Martinelli. When Martinelli comes in, if he's in the same form as he was before he got injured, yes, Lacazette will be under pressure to perform, or he will be dropped for Martinelli. Then also, we do not know whether Martinelli will play on the left, or because of the tactics that Arteta is playing, Martinelli may again play center and Aubameyang will again play left. Again, I am saying this, Lacazette is not in the team because Arteta is trying to accommodate Lacazette. Lacazette is in the team because Lacazette accommodates Arteta's tactics, which are long crosses, which are aerial crosses coming from the left. All our plays from the left. Bellerin plays grounded passes and grounded crosses, but he doesn't attack. Tierney is the one who keeps attacking. He constantly pushes forward, and 90% of his crosses are in the air, which Aubameyang will not challenge for, which Aubameyang will not give the centre backs a problem. Apart from the hold-up play, this is another reason why Lacazette is starting.
But that's something that can be adjusted quite easily tactically with Tierney. Is you can tell Tierney to cross lower or from the byline along the ground. Because I remember in the first few games and our friendly games and stuff, Tierney was going really deep and he was crossing low from the byline. He was crossing low in front of the strikers to come in to score in front of goal, or he was actually passing the ball back, you know, that cutting the ball back into the 18-yard box, a low ball. That's basically that type of ball where if you have that box-to-box player like a Ramsey, or hopefully we'll have that now with maybe Partey, maybe he can come in as well, where that ball comes out into the 18-yard box and everyone's defending in front of goal, and he's wide open in the 18-yard box to take a shot. Whoever comes in there, that's the type of tactical adjustments that can be made. It's not a given that Tierney has to keep crossing in the air. I mean, Tierney is a professional football player, very gifted professional football player. I'm sure if Arteta tells him, listen, go to the byline and cross back into the 18-yard box slow, or do low driven crosses in front of goal, that because that's where we're going to have Aubameyang driving in. These tactical adjustments can be made. It's not the Hackney Marshes where you got old Stan on 5 pints of beer who can only do one thing. I mean, it's
his ground crosses are not good enough. That is why he plays only aerial crosses. Yeah, sorry, Daniel.
I disagree. Tierney's a good footballer, very talented footballer. He's very precise with his crossing. At the moment, he's crossing in the air, but I think we can. At the beginning of the season, he was crossing very well along the ground. Go back and have a look. Those balls he was cutting in were really good. He can do that as well, and I think it's just a matter of making those tactical adjustments.
Yeah, big up Tubbs MD2BO. Greetings from the Philippines, he said to me and the rest of the gang. So yeah, big up you. Big up from the Philippines. You're meant to. You're going there, aren't you? You're going there, aren't you, Sam? Aren't you? You're going to the Philippines.
Yeah, when the borders open, I'm over there like a shot, mate. I'm going to move over there. Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, it's lovely over there. It really is.
John, the Revenite, big up to you. Said this is not the Firmino show. Lacquer is lacquer. Move on. He said, "Leave my boy Bobby alone."
It was a comparison that's we had. I just want to say what I was always saying about Firmino. I just want to reiterate that point is yes, Firmino didn't score many goals, just one goal. But what I kept saying was he wasn't expected to score goals. That's what I'm saying. That's a difference. Firmino wasn't expected to score goals, in my opinion. But with Lacazette, we expect him to score goals. That's the difference. Yeah.
That is the thing. The fans expect it. You don't know what Arteta is telling him to do. Maybe Arteta is not expecting him to score, but hold the ball, link up with the midfield.
Well, then I'd like to know that. I'd like to know that. I'd like Arteta to say that. When the press say what's going on with Lacazette, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a canoe. I'd like Arteta to say, well, at the moment, we're expecting him to link up more, maybe not score as many goals, be more of a build-up player. If Arteta came out and said that, fine. But he's a striker, central striker.
Yes, I understand what you're saying with respect to the striker, and that is what at that point of time I was also saying for Firmino. But again, if Arteta was unhappy with his performances, he would have regularly dropped him and not brought him back into the team. If he can do that with Ozil, he can do that with Lacazette. Second thing, Arteta has done one thing very bad, which I am saying. Once he scored in 3 games continuously, that is not the time you drop your only player who's in form. Because Aubameyang is also out of form. And
that's a mistake. That's a mistake Arteta has made with several players, and unfortunately, Emery did the same thing as well. When players were playing well, all of a sudden, if it suited him tactically, or he wanted to rotate a player, it didn't matter how well they played. That was it. They got dropped unless he's the captain. One of the most important players. They just get dropped. And I agree, Nitesh. You're dead right. Lacazette did not deserve to get dropped at that time, and I agree. And that probably did, hurt his confidence and hurt his form and everything because he has to build it up again. I agree. But that doesn't take away from the point that it has set him back, and now he's at this level where he's struggling. That's the reality. We can always look back at why, but that's the reality of the situation, he's facing now. And I just want to say one last point about Firmino is I remember we was talking about I'd like Arteta to address this with Lacazette. Make it clear, do we expect him to score goals or not? Because Klopp was very clear with Firmino, because when the press were on Klopp's back with Firmino, saying, well, Firmino, why is he not scoring goals? Yeah. He's playing in that central role. And Klopp said very clearly, we don't expect him to score goals. He's a link-up player. He's a very important link-up player. He's very important in our build-up play and retention, retaining the ball high up the field. But, of course, we'd like him to score goals, but we don't expect him to score goals. That's the difference.
But then that is the thing. Firmino was a cam initially. You don't want to break the confidence. A manager saying that I don't expect my striker to score goals. If he will be about to score goals, he may not score after a manager says this. It will anyways break his confidence even more. He's already not in the top form that we were expecting from him. He was scoring goals, but then to add to that, Aubameyang is in way worse form. I'm not even going to talk about Pepe. So the thing is, out of it is like this. Out of you remember one thing, Sam. I remember you saying this. Let's sell Lacazette. I think even Daniel said it. I don't remember. Let's sell Lacazette. Saka
Yeah, we
and
do
Martinelli
need to
will
sell
score the goals.
Lacazette. We
No,
need to
just let
sell
me finish it.
Lacazette.
Yeah, you said that Saka and Martinelli will score the goals that he is scoring. But
Just
have
carry
you
on for
seen
a second, guys. I've just got to run to the loo.
Yeah, go on,
Sure.
mate.
Let's carry on now.
So I was saying that when we had this discussion, you said let's get rid of Lacazette. Saka will score the goals that Lacazette was scoring. But so far, if you have seen, Saka does create. No one's denying that. But he never gets into the goal scoring positions. And if you have seen his finishing, it is as similar to Lacazette. He had that chance against Manchester City,
Well,
one on one. Then
Saka,
people will say he's a kid. He's a kid. Let's not get into that. Yeah.
But Saka's not playing as advanced as it. Saka's been playing a left wing back. Saka's been playing like a deep lying inverted winger. He hasn't been playing that left, the forward, left inside forward role or left winger role that Aubameyang's been playing. That's for me. That's where Saka should be playing, in that role. Saka is playing further back. He's not getting as many chances.
No, in fact, trust me, Saka has gotten a lot of good chances, including that one-on-one with Ederson.
Yes, but not as many as he would get if he was playing further forward, in my opinion.
I would disagree. The whole team is not creating anything. You can say solid. 2 shots on target in the last game. One, maybe the third one, Willian one, which hit the post.
But that's to do with who's playing where and who's playing where. Right? I mean, if you put players in their right position where they should be playing, you might get a whole different outcome. That's what I'm saying. That's why I want to see Aubameyang in the middle, Saka out on the left, because for me, I think we're going to start creating more just automatically by doing that, and also by actually using a more attacking midfielder, not necessarily a cam role, but someone who can be more advanced and link up, in midfield. Ceballos or a Smith Rowe or maybe even a Willock, he has it in him. He has it in him to do it, to link up with the attack,
But if you remember, Saka he was the man of the match for Arsenal against Manchester City. He got those clear chances because other players were creating enough space for him to run with the ball and take shots, and even he could not finish. So now I'm not saying that Saka is bad. I am saying that maybe the fans who were saying that if we get rid of Lacazette and we have the likes of Saka, and he will give us those goals. Those goals aren't coming. Yeah.
But you're forgetting a very, very important point here, Nitish, and that is that Saka is still a developing player. He's 19 years old. Lacazette is what? He's 29, 30? How old is he now?
He's around 29, I guess.
Yeah,
I just confirmed
29 or 30 years old. He should be in his prime now, at his absolute best. 29. Saka is 19 years old. He's still developing. He is a developing player.
And no, but the problem again comes with the striker is, if the striker does not have a creative midfielder behind him. Remember one thing. I will again go back to that Emery season where we had Ramsey. Lacazette was player of the season. He was player of the season. And since what point of time has this creativity issue started? It has started since Aaron Ramsey was injured. We never we never got a creative midfielder as good as him. As much as Arsenal fans would like to argue, Dani Ceballos is not as good as him. He is not the answer.
I agree. So but you keep going back in time talking about how it was back then. That doesn't solve the issue we have now.
No, the issue would have been solved if we had signed someone like OR.
So what we got to do is we've got to look at what we have now and do something with what we have now. For me, you've got to change it around. When our attack is not working effectively, you see our front three basically are completely dead. Completely dead. Really, the interaction between them is nothing. we should change it around. We should try to do it differently. We should have the players playing in their more natural positions. For me, Aubameyang in the middle. Then we should have a more creative player behind him in midfield, so Aubameyang doesn't have to come deep, like you said. Because yes, before Partey, when there was no one attacking in midfield or attack minded, yes, then you have to have someone to drop in deep because no one's doing that. So now we have Partey. We don't have to have someone from up front dropping in deep. We can have a more attack-minded midfielder to do the link-up play. Then you have Aubameyang in his more natural position in the middle as a striker, hopefully getting chances and scoring them from his more natural position. Then out left, I would like to try Saka as a forward, left-sided inside forward or left winger, as a forward role, where he would then link up with Aubameyang and link up with Tierney, hopefully create some good chances or maybe score some chances himself. And on the right-hand side, for me, is the problem we have at the moment because Pepe is, he's struggling. He's very up and down. Willian, very up and down. I don't really know what we have from Willian. And the same with Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson also struggles out there on the right. That right-hand side, there's a bit of a problem at the moment. But out of those three, I'll probably play Pepe because Pepe, at least with Pepe, he has a decent shot on him when he wants to. He's got a decent shot on him, and he might be able to dribble past a player or two now and again, maybe. But he's not great. But anyway, I'm just saying, when things aren't really working that well, we need to change it up and try and put players in the positions where they're used to playing. Because Aubameyang is a central striker. He is not a left. He's not a left winger or a left forward.
No, again, here I will just add one thing about Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey does not play through balls. He plays a give and take passing. He does not. He'll never. So you are saying that if you play Aubameyang central,
no.
if you play Aubameyang central, but Thomas Partey.
Understanding what I'm saying. You're not understanding what I'm saying. Thomas Partey gives us the ability to use an attacking player in front of him because Partey can shield our defence. When we didn't have Partey, when we had to use two deep-lying midfielders to shield our defence and also use wing-backs to help shield our defence because we had no midfield, we were just useless at defending in midfield. Then we had no one attacking in midfield, and that's when Lacazette had to always come deep and play basically a central midfield role at the same time. But now what I'm saying with Partey, I'm not wanting Partey to play through balls, even though he could probably do it if he wanted to. The guy's amazing. You can see he's box to box as well. He's amazing. He's a dynamic player. But that's not what I want to see from him. I want to see him shield the defence, play the defensive role in midfield, and then in front of him, I think he plays very well with Elneny. Elneny can also play a distributing role in midfield. But then in front of those two, as the third midfielder, I would like to see an attack-minded player come in and play a more attacking position and do those through balls. For me, Ceballos can do that. For me, Smith Rowe can do that. For me, Willock has it in him to do that. Even Saka can play maybe in that role and do that if we need him to. I'm just saying, Partey, the point with Partey is he enables us to sit deep and protect the defence so we can have an attack-minded player in front of him, which we didn't have before we had Partey. That's what I'm saying. Partey's not going to be playing through balls. It's going to be Ceballos, Smith Rowe, Willock, maybe Saka, who's going to play in that role.
Again, I'm saying that those four names that you mentioned, they're not good enough yet. Smith Rowe, obviously,
but then without playing them, how do they get better? Right, this is what we're talking about. Players should get the chance to play and improve themselves. Right?
Yeah. No, that is the thing. We should have actually sent Willock on loan. I don't know why he's not gone on loan. The other thing is with respect to Smith Rowe, hopefully now he's back from injury. All the fans who are saying that Arteta thinks that he has Kevin De Bruyne like abilities. Let's see where are those abilities. Let's see what happens. And another thing, which Arteta has not tried so far. I don't know why he has not tried Pepe in that role. Because Pepe can actually play that role. He is one of the players who can actually do it. Dani Ceballos is very inconsistent. That is one of his main problems. He's very inconsistent. He will put in 5 good crosses, but he will put in 6 bad ones. So that is a major problem that he has, and that is why he is not good enough. With respect to El Neni, one more thing. With respect to Partey playing with El Neni, if you've seen the game against United, El Neni is the one who's sitting in front of the defense more, and Partey is moving forward. Lacazette, Willian, and Aubameyang are playing the ball. It's like a triangle. Partey is at the center. He's at the apex. They play the ball back to him. Then he distributes it wide to the wingers. So everyone in the front three plays the ball back towards Partey, and then he puts it on the left or towards the right. He can play those passes, but he cannot play a straight through pass. That is the problem. Now the other thing is, as I said, if Dani Ceballos comes into the team as the third midfielder, if we are playing a 4-3-3, that is, it will again be the thing that out of every 5 or 6 passes that he plays through balls, 1 or 2 may go through to the striker. And can Aubameyang finish those if he gets them? That is another thing that we need to see. So Arteta is not, because when he tried it against Leicester, Dani Ceballos had a very poor game. He had one of the worst games of his Arsenal career, you can say, when he played against Leicester in that role. So it did not work. Clearly, it did not work. It failed a lot.
The rest of the midfield didn't work either, did it? I mean, you had Xhaka and it didn't work. The rest of the midfield didn't work either. You know, not much worked in that game, did it? We were poor, with the ball. But anyway, I'd like to see Ceballos given another chance in that role.
Yeah,
I'd like to see Smith Rowe given a chance. I think Smith Rowe has it in him, but without playing him and giving him a chance, how do we know? You know, that's the thing. You know, we've got to give these kids a chance. And that tomorrow is a perfect chance to do that. I'd love to see him do that. You know, get in there and show us maybe that he has that in him. You know, and El Neni was playing further up
brilliant.
than Partey, at least in the second half against United. And I saw El Neni play a couple of brilliant through balls. I mean, one of them went through to Bellerin that came in. I mean, it was. I think El Neni's he's a bit of a revelation at the moment. But anyway, I don't really have anything more to add at the moment. You know, of course we agree to disagree on Lacazette. Nittis is a very important part of the team. I think we can get rid of him, and that's about it.
So Sam, I want to ask you while you're on here, since we're talking about the game tomorrow as well, and yes. I know Nitesh has a habit of derailing the main topic to a debate topic.
You knew it before the stream that it was coming.
Yeah. Nitesh is like a London cab driver, just likes to go around the houses before getting to the proper destination. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Sam, I want to ask you. I want you to just, if you can, just tell everybody your situation on tomorrow's opponents with Molde and how they are as a team, and your personal story with one of the players.
Yeah, well, Molde
just going to turn the light on.
Molde are a top Norwegian club. They are like always regarded as like one of the top 5 clubs in Norway. They were down. They weren't very good until basically the last 15 years or so. They came back into it. Solskjaer did well bringing them back in when he was with them. Yeah, they've got a good reputation here in Norway. They have a lovely stadium. I'll tell you what, if you could have an away game now, you would have loved it, because Molde Stadium is lovely, right on the coast in a lovely area. It's beautiful, picturesque, with the fjords, and it's really picturesque. And they've got this amazing hotel that looks like a big sail. Look, it reminds you a bit of that hotel in Dubai. The Burj Al Arab. A much smaller version of that one, basically, and not quite as luxurious, of course, but architecturally incredible. Looks like a big sail right next to the stadium, right on the coast, right on the coastline. Beautiful stadium. You would have loved it as an away day. I'm sure you would have loved it. And shame that's not happening. But anyway, so they're at the moment they're second in the league, but they're bouncing between second and third a lot. Recent weeks, because basically what's happened in the Norwegian Premier League is we've got a team called Bodø/Glimt who have been absolutely incredible this season. Like, they've basically been like the Liverpool of Norway. They've just absolutely thrashed it this season. They've only lost one game. They're leading by like some 18 points or something like that. And Molde at the moment are second, but it's very tight down to like 5th, 6th. So, it can, Molde might slip down. They're up and down a bit, Molde. They've lost like 7 or 8 games, and they're not a great team compared to of course many other European leagues and everything. They play a 4-2-3-1. That's what Molde normally do. They have a couple of decent young players in midfield. They're quite well known for their youth system. They have quite a good youth system that the players come through there and then go abroad, normally to like Germany or Belgium, Austria. That's where Norwegian players go a lot. So they're a decent little team for Norway. But they're not going to be much of competition really for Arsenal tomorrow. The best player at the moment is a Nigerian player called Leke James. He's quite old, 28, but he scored the most goals for Molde this season. He's their top scorer by far. He's a decent little striker, but he's not nowhere near top level. They've got a couple of decent young midfielders, Norwegian midfielders who have got a lot of energy, a lot of energy. They pass the ball quite well, but they're not Premier League level as of yet. And as for the player, he starts some games and mainly on the bench, but he comes on a lot. He's a winger, a very, very quick winger. His name is Erling Knudsen, and I coached him at youth level when he was 16 to 17 years old, because then he was playing for a club in Oslo where I was a youth coach for 3 seasons at a football club, first division football club in Oslo for their youth team. Basically they're under 18s, and he was a player that came through the ranks there. And he was by far our best player, really, really good player. And he went from there. He actually went to Lillestrøm, another good team in the Premier League. He got signed at 19, professional contract at 19, and went and started making decent money. Basically, after the season after I had him. I like to say I helped him a little bit along the way. I mean, I let him do what he wanted to do. Basically, he had a free role. That's how good he was. He just went out there and did what he wanted and scored goals every game. That's the level he was at. And he is a nice little lad. Had a good attitude. Be interested to see him again tomorrow. It's funny to see him when he's playing on TV. Nice lad, but he's never really. He had the potential to take the step up to maybe get up to like a top European level, because he was so fast. I mean, he's lightning quick. That's the thing. He's got that speed, but he just doesn't really have the finishing ability or the end product. He's a bit weak with his passing, foot crossing, and that. That's where he's lacking basically. If he actually had a good crossing foot and a good passing foot, he would probably be at a much better team. But unfortunately, never really developed that well. But he's got amazing speed, and he was on the bench for the last game for Molde. But maybe he'll play tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe they might want to use him along the wing for some speed. I don't know what they're thinking of to do against Arsenal tomorrow. But I think he's definitely in the squad. He's probably going to be on the bench then, most likely, and it'd be interesting to see him come on. I'll be taking part in your watch along tomorrow, so I'll let everyone know who he is, what number he is, who he is in that, and see if he comes on, or maybe he'll even start. But very quick winger, just not much great end product. But it's a fascinating story, because it's funny to see him end up at Molde, because I thought he was going to be staying at that team Lillestrøm for a while and then maybe go abroad, because I know that was his goal, was to go abroad and get a top contract abroad. But unfortunately he just didn't really make it. He wasn't quite good enough to go top level. He's not top division level. In Germany or Spain or France. He's probably top division level in maybe like Austria or Belgium. But then as I know, he doesn't really want to play top division football there. He might as well stay in Norway. So that's basically the long and short of it. I hope it wasn't too long.
Did you tell him we signed George Lewis? He has a chance.
I tell you what, yeah. I mean, I've never really seen George Lewis because the kid basically, I mean, he couldn't even get first team football for a fourth level team here. But I don't know. There's something in him that they seem to be quite impressed with him with the under-23s.
Rwanda.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I don't think he's done much now. The last couple of games he played, but the first couple of games he played, apparently he was very exciting. You know, dribbling past players. He's very quick, another very quick player. But yeah, I think he's sort of like come back to his level now after the first couple of games, and yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, George Lewis was much younger. He came along after my time there. So.
Maybe Rahul was betting someone he knows.
No, he's definitely there for the Rwanda connection, definitely, because he's probably one of the better players Rwanda has. You know, I mean, Rwanda aren't exactly big in African football, are they? Let's be honest. So yeah, so I think he's probably one of their better talents, to be honest. And you know, he's got him for nothing basically. So you know, it's a bit of a poster boy for Rwanda. And if he turns out to be half decent, I think the idea is to sell him on for a bit of a profit. You know, that's the idea. We're turning into this. We changed our model now. We're buying for either getting for free or buying for small money all these talents that other teams are either dropping or they're interested in selling. We're buying them and then putting them in our under-23s, playing them for a season or two, and then either they're good enough to maybe get into the first team and have a look, or we sell them for a profit. Right? I think that's what we're starting to do now.
You know, the joke was when he was bought by Arsenal, Arsenal fans were saying we got the next Martinelli.
I mean, he was that like unknown, definitely that like unknown, but I mean, nowhere near the same level of ability. No way. Yeah.
No, they were just trying to justify the buy.
Yeah.
So guys, I want to ask you your score predictions for tomorrow. And Sam, I'm going to come to you first.
Well, we should definitely be good enough to beat Molde at home tomorrow. We're playing them home, aren't we? So we are, aren't we? We're not playing away, are we? I'm just saying it would have been nice. We're playing them at home, aren't we, at the Emirates?
I'll just quickly confirm that.
Yeah.
And we are playing at the Emirates.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's a shame it's not an away game, because you'd have loved an away game if it was allowed now to go and travel and everything. Anyway, yeah, so at the Emirates, yeah, I mean, they're not a great team, like I said. They've got a couple of decent players. That's it. The thing is, though, how much effort have we got in us? That's the thing. We're probably not going to give 110% tomorrow either. So I'm going to say 3-0. I think 3-0. We should probably score 4 or 5, but I think we'll stop at 3. I just don't think we'll bother, more than that.
Yeah. And Nitesh, your score prediction?
I remember last time the Europa League game was going on, I was on some random stream, not even watching the game. And there was a score ticker there, which was giving me the scoreline updates. I mean, that's how interesting these group stages games are. Apart from the fact that obviously you see some young Arsenal talents playing, that is the only big, you can say the big driving force or the driving factor to watching these games right now. Otherwise, we know and expect Arsenal to easily dominate the group. So I think it may be maybe a 4-0 win for Arsenal. I don't see us conceding a goal based on the quality.
That Lecker James I got up front, yeah, he can score a goal, but he's not good. He's not good. I mean, he's quite quick, but he's not top level. I mean, we shouldn't be letting him score goal tomorrow.
Yeah. No way. Again, as I said, maybe a 4-0, maybe, because this team will have a bit of. They will get a bit used to playing with each other, like they played the last game, and now they may play another similar game. So yeah. I think it should be 4-0 this time.
Okay, so Tyrone's going for a 4-1. Before I get into my score prediction, and Russ is asking you a question, Sam. I think you're probably best placed to answer this. He said, "Are Molde better than Dundalk?"
I would say Molde are slightly better than Dundalk. They did beat Dundalk 2-1 away in Ireland. They struggled. It wasn't an easy game for them, but they did beat them away. I would say they're slightly better than Dundalk. Yeah. about 20% better, I would say. So based on that, we should have annihilated Dundalk, really, shouldn't we? But we didn't bother. So yeah, we should get a few goals past Molde.
Now you're tempting me to change my scoreline to 4-1.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go for a. I think we'll win this one 3-1. I think they'll score, but I think we'll edge it. I think we'll have enough for them, despite our offensive frailties. So yeah, that's my score prediction. And yeah, listen, guys, I think we're going to wrap up here because we've been going for 1 hour 40 minutes there or thereabouts. It's been an incredibly decent show. I just want to remind you all before I let my guests introduce their platforms and that, I just want to remind you all to smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, share the content, share the channel around. All the information to my channel and stuff is across the bottom of your screen there in a banner, so you should be able to see this. Sam, do you just want to let everybody know where they can find you on your platforms?
Yeah, thanks a lot for giving me the link and to jump on, have a fun debate with it. It's always a laugh. Sam Greenwood TV is my channel at the moment. Not unfortunately, not very much going on there at the moment, but I'm trying to get some ideas together for the next few weeks, see what I can do. Normally do like a late night chat about Arsenal, have a bit of banter and stuff like that, or do a quiz. So Sam Greenwood TV, check it out, subscribe please, that'd be great. And also on Twitter, I put some stuff out there as well. That's at 1980_Greenwood. So check that out as well. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries. Listen, it's been a pleasure as always. And Nitesh, your platform, do you just want to tell everybody about your pages and that?
Yeah, my latest platform is Lacazette In. No, I'm just kidding. But you can find me on Beyond the Post on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And also, hopefully, Arsenal FC fans, something happens there. Facebook loves my page. So they, I think they think that my page is some kind of Ozil fan page. So they keep extending the reach ban. Let's see what happens soon. Hopefully, it gets back on track. So Arsenal FC fans on Facebook as well, and once that ban is gone, I'm pushing it to 1 million likes. And it's always good to be on here and have a debate with you guys.
Yeah, and hopefully it'd be interesting to see whether your page gets back up and running before Ozil leaves the club. Be interesting to see what Facebook does with that. Well, listen, guys, we've reached the end of the show. Listen, thanks you to everybody who's been watching. Nice to see some new subscribers in the chat, as always. Nice to see some new faces around in the chat. Not seen you guys before, so welcome aboard and thank you for joining. And hope you enjoy the future streams that I put out. In regards to the future, guys, tomorrow there's going to be a watch-along. Joining me is Simpy, and I think, Sam, you're joining as well for that one, for the first half at least. And then also there'll be a review of that game on Friday. Also, there'll be a preview for the Aston Villa game on Friday as well. So lots of content on Friday. And then on Sunday will be a watch-along for the Aston Villa game because we've got a big game in the Premier League after tomorrow's game. And then throughout the international break, I'll think about what content I can do because, let's be honest, the international break is the worst kind of time when you've got a football YouTube channel and for content because, the international break is dead. Nobody really cares about international football. I don't even think professional footballers care about international football. But listen, it is what it is. We have to deal with it. That's it for today, guys. Catch you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. And there's only one thing left to say, and that is, come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you Gunners.
Come on, Lacazette.